Jake Morrison looked at his watch. It was 2:47 in the morning. The water treatment plant was quiet except for the soft hum of machines. Jake had worked the night shift for 3 years now. He liked the peace and quiet. No bosses walking around. No phone calls. Just him and the water pumps. He walked through the plant one more time. Everything looked normal. The filters were clean. The pumps were running smooth. His job was simple but important. People needed clean water every day. Jake made sure they got it. His shift would end at 6 in the morning. Then he would drive home to his small apartment. He lived alone in a building with 12 other apartments. It was not fancy, but it was clean and quiet. Most of his neighbors worked during the day, so Jake rarely saw them. Jake picked up his keys and headed for the door. He needed to take out the trash before going home. The dumpsters were behind his apartment building. It was a quick stop on his way home from work. The night air was cool. Jake could see his breath in small clouds. Fall was coming to Ohio. Soon it would be cold and snowy. But tonight was just cool and quiet. Perfect weather for walking. Jake drove through the empty streets. No traffic at this hour. Just a few streetlights and the occasional truck driver heading somewhere. Jake liked this time of night. The world felt calm and peaceful. He parked behind his apartment building. The dumpster sat in the corner of the parking lot. Jake grabbed 2 bags of trash from his car. He had been meaning to take them out for days. Better to do it now than let them smell up his apartment. As Jake walked toward the dumpsters, he saw something strange. There was a person lying on the ground next to the big green trash container. At first, Jake thought it might be someone who had too much to drink. Sometimes people wandered into the parking lot and fell asleep. But as he got closer, Jake realized this was different. Very different. The person was a woman, but she did not look like any woman Jake had ever seen. Her skin was pale blue like winter sky. Her hair was silver and seemed to shine in the dark. She wore clothes that looked like they were made of liquid metal. They moved and changed color as she breathed. Jake dropped his trash bags and ran to her. She was awake but hurt. Her eyes were large and dark blue. She looked at Jake with fear and hope mixed together. "Help," she whispered. Her voice was soft but strange. She spoke English, but with an accent Jake had never heard before. "Are you okay?" Jake asked. He knelt down next to her. "Do you need me to call an ambulance?" The woman shook her head quickly. "No doctors. No hospitals, please." She tried to sit up but winced in pain. Jake saw that her left arm was hurt. There was something like blood on her clothes, but it was silver instead of red. "What happened to you?" Jake asked. He looked around the parking lot. There were no cars except his own. No sign of an accident or fight. The woman reached into her clothes and pulled out a small device. It was about the size of a cell phone, but it glowed with soft blue light. Strange symbols moved across its surface like living text. "My name is Vera," she said. Her English was getting better as she spoke. "I am not from your world." Jake stared at her. Not from his world? What did that mean? But looking at her blue skin and silver hair and the glowing device, Jake began to understand. This woman was not human. She was something else. "Something from somewhere else? You mean you're an alien?" Jake asked. Vera nodded. "My ship crashed in your woods. 3 miles from here. I walked here looking for help." Jake felt his heart beating fast. An alien, a real alien. And she was asking him for help. Part of him wanted to run away. Part of him wanted to call the police or the army or someone important. But mostly he just wanted to help her. She was hurt and scared just like any person would be. "What kind of help do you need?" Jake asked. Vera looked at him with surprise. "You are not afraid?" "I am afraid," Jake said honestly. "But you're hurt. And you asked for help. That's what matters." Vera smiled for the first time. It was a sad smile, but real. "I need to reach your leaders. Your government. I have important news for your people." "What kind of news?" Vera's face became serious again. "Danger is coming to your world. Ships with weapons. They want to take your planet and make your people slaves. They will be here in 3 days." Jake felt cold fear in his stomach. "How do you know this?" "My people have been watching your world for many years. We study other planets and the life on them. We saw the warships heading here. My people voted to do nothing. They said it is not our problem. But you came anyway." Vera nodded. "I could not watch your people die without trying to help. I stole a ship and came to warn you. But first I need to know if your people are worth saving." Jake frowned. "What do you mean?"
I have technology that can help your people fight.
But it only works for those who are worthy. I need to test your people first, to see if they have what it takes. Test us how? Vera held up the glowing device. I will give you problems to solve. If you solve them the right way, I will help your people. If not, she did not finish the sentence. Jake helped Vera stand up. She was taller than him and very thin. Why did you come to me? I'm just a guy who works at the water plant. I'm nobody important. Vera looked at him carefully. You saw a stranger who was hurt and your first thought was to help. You did not run away when you learned I was different. That tells me what kind of person you are, and it gives me hope for your people. Jake picked up his trash bags and threw them in the dumpster. Then he turned back to Vera. Okay, what do we do first? We need to go to my ship. I have things there that can help. But first, do you have friends you trust? We will need help. Jake thought about it. I have 2 friends. Lisa and Ryan, they're good people. Then we start with them, Vera said. Time is short. The warships will be here soon, and I need to know if humans are ready to fight for their world. Jake helped Vera walk to his car. She moved slowly because of her hurt arm. The silver blood had stopped flowing, but she was still in pain. Jake opened the passenger door and helped her sit down. Where do your friends live? Vera asked. Lisa lives about 10 minutes from here. Ryan lives with her. Jake started the car. But it's 3 a.m. They'll be sleeping. Wake them up, Vera said. Time is very important now. Jake drove through the quiet streets. He felt nervous about waking up his friends. What would he tell them? That he found an alien woman in the parking lot? They would think he was crazy. But he had to try. Lisa Chen and Ryan Carter lived in a small house near the college. Lisa worked as a computer programmer for a local company. Ryan worked for a shipping company, moving boxes and packages around the country. They had been dating for 2 years and were good people. Jake trusted them completely. Jake parked in front of their house and helped Vera walk to the front door. He knocked softly at first, then louder. After a few minutes, a light came on inside. The door opened and Lisa appeared. She wore pajamas and looked very sleepy. Jake, what are you doing here? It's 3 a.m. Then Lisa saw Vera and her eyes went wide. Who is that? What happened to her skin? Lisa, this is going to sound crazy, but I need you to listen, Jake said. This is Vera. She's an alien. Her ship crashed and she needs our help. Lisa stared at them both. Jake, are you feeling okay? Did you hit your head at work? Ryan appeared behind Lisa. He was tall and had messy brown hair. What's going on? Then he saw Vera and stopped talking. Her blue skin and silver hair were impossible to ignore. Let us come in, Jake said. I'll explain everything. Lisa and Ryan looked at each other. Finally, Lisa stepped back and let them inside. They all sat in the small living room. Vera seemed very tired. Tell us what's happening, Ryan said. Jake told them everything. About finding Vera by the dumpsters. About the warships coming to Earth. About the tests Vera wanted to do. Lisa and Ryan listened without saying anything. Their faces showed shock and fear. When Jake finished talking, the room was quiet for a long time. This is real? Lisa asked finally. Vera reached into her clothes and pulled out the glowing device. She touched it and the room filled with soft blue light. Images appeared in the air above the device. They showed space and stars and huge ships moving between planets. These are the warships, Vera said. They belong to the Dominion Empire. They take planets and make the people slaves. They will be here in 72 hours. Ryan leaned forward to look at the images. Those ships are massive. How many people are on them? Each ship carries 10,000 soldiers, Vera said. There are 5 ships coming to your world. Lisa ran her hands through her hair. 50,000 alien soldiers. And you want to test us first before helping? Vera nodded. My people have rules. We do not give technology to species that will use it badly. I need to know if humans can use our weapons wisely. What kind of test? Jake asked. Vera reached into her clothes again and pulled out a broken piece of metal. It was about the size of a book but twisted and damaged. Some parts still glowed faintly. This broke when my ship crashed, Vera said. It is a communication device. Can you fix it? Lisa took the device and looked at it carefully. I don't know anything about alien technology. That is the point, Vera said. Most species either worship our technology like magic, or they try to break it apart to understand it. Both ways fail. I want to see what humans do. Jake looked at the broken device. It did not look like any machine he had ever seen. There were no screws or wires, Just smooth metal with glowing lines running through it. Can I touch it? Jake asked. Vera nodded. Jake put his hands on the device. As soon as he touched it, the glowing lines became brighter. It's reacting to me, he said. Your body makes electricity, Ryan said. All living things do. Maybe it needs that to work. Lisa opened her laptop computer. Let me scan this with my camera. Maybe I can see patterns that our eyes miss. She took pictures of the device from different angles. The computer showed the images on the screen. Look at this, Lisa said. She pointed at the screen. The glowing lines make a pattern. It looks like a network, like how computers talk to each other. Jake held the device while Lisa studied the patterns. Ryan looked at both sides of the broken metal. The break is clean, Ryan said, like it was cut, not smashed. Maybe the pieces just need to be put back together the right way. They worked together for an hour. Jake held the device and felt where it seemed to want more electricity. Lisa used her computer to map the patterns and find where they were broken. Ryan studied the physical damage and figured out how the pieces fit together. Finally, Lisa said, "Try putting your hands here and here." She showed Jake where to touch the device. Jake put his hands in the right spots. The device suddenly came alive. All the lines glowed bright blue and the air above it filled with images again. Vera smiled. Very good. Most species take days to do what you did in 1 hour. What did we do right? Lisa asked. You worked together. You combined your different skills. And you did not try to force the device to work. You listened to what it needed. Vera took the device back. This gives me hope for your species. So you'll help us fight the warships? Ryan asked. Not yet, Vera said. This was just the first test. I need to see more. Vera touched the communication device. New images appeared. They showed a forest with smoke rising from it. My ship is there, Vera said, but I sent false signals before I left it. The warships think the crash happened in a different place. They will land in Montana, far from your cities. This gives us time. How much time? Jake asked. 72 hours until they arrive. But I need to contact your leaders before then. My ship has a quantum communicator that can reach anyone on your planet instantly, but it needs a special mineral to work. What kind of mineral? Lisa asked. Vera showed them a picture. It looked like a crystal that glowed with red light. Your people call it rare earth elements. It is only found in deep mines. Ryan sat up straight. I know where to get that. My company delivers supplies to mining operations. There's a big rare earth mine about 50 miles from here. Can you get the mineral without breaking your laws? Vera asked. Maybe, Ryan said. It depends on how much you need. Just a small piece. The size of your thumb. Ryan nodded. I think I can do that legally. But it won't be easy. This is your second test, Vera said. Can you solve problems under pressure while still being honest and good people? Jake looked at his friends. Lisa looked scared but determined. Ryan was already thinking about how to get the mineral. They were ready to help, even though they were just ordinary people facing something impossible. We'll find a way, Jake said. But what happens after we get the mineral? Then I contact your leaders and tell them about the warships. And I give you the biggest test of all. Vera's face became very serious. I will ask your entire species to prove they deserve to survive. The sun was coming up when they made their plan. They sat around Lisa's kitchen table with coffee and notebooks. Vera did not drink coffee, but she watched them work with great interest. The mine is called Red Rock Mining, Ryan said. I deliver equipment there twice a month. I know the guards and the layout. Can you just ask for the mineral? Jake asked. Ryan shook his head. They don't sell to individuals, only to big companies with contracts. But I have an idea. Ryan opened his laptop and showed them his company's website. I can create an emergency order. We do that sometimes when a client needs something fast. It's legal, but I have to be careful about the paperwork. Lisa looked at the mining company's website. I can help with that. I can get into their scheduling system and make sure the right people are working when you go there. Is that legal? Vera asked. It's a gray area, Lisa said. I'm not stealing anything or changing important data. I'm just looking at schedules and maybe adjusting when certain people work. Companies do this kind of thing all the time. Jake felt nervous. What if we get caught? Then we go to jail and your world gets destroyed, Vera said simply. But I'm watching how you solve this problem. So far you are doing well. What do you mean? Ryan asked. Other species would either steal the mineral or try to buy it with false money. You are finding a way to get it legally. Even though it is harder, this shows honor. They spent 2 hours planning every detail. Ryan would create an emergency order for rare Earth samples for a fake geological survey. Lisa would hack into the mine's computer system and make sure that friendly guards were working during Ryan's visit. Jake would go with Ryan and use his maintenance worker credentials to look official. "What about you?" Jake asked Vera. "Where will you be?" "I will go back to my ship and prepare the quantum communicator. When you bring the mineral, we can contact your leaders immediately." Vera gave Jake a small device that looked like a wristwatch. "This will let you talk to me anywhere. Just press the blue button." They drove in 2 cars to the mining area. Ryan and Jake went directly to the mine. Lisa stayed in town and found a coffee shop with good internet to do her computer work. The Red Rock mine was bigger than Jake expected. Huge trucks moved rocks and dirt around a massive hole in the ground. The buildings were surrounded by tall fences and security cameras. Ryan parked at the main gate and showed his company ID to the guard. The guard was a middle-aged man named Bob who knew Ryan from previous deliveries. "Morning, Ryan. What brings you here so early?" "Emergency order," Ryan said. He showed Bob the paperwork he had created. "Geological survey needs rare earth samples by tonight." "Big rush job." Bob looked at the papers. "Looks official. But I need to call the office to confirm." Jake felt his heart beating fast. This was the moment when their plan could fail. Bob made the phone call. After a few minutes, he nodded and hung up. "You're approved. Bay 7 has your samples ready." They drove to Bay 7, where a woman in a hard hat was waiting with a small metal box. "You're the guys from the emergency order?" she asked. "That's us," Ryan said. The woman handed him the box. 1 pound of mixed rare earth elements as requested. "Sign here." Ryan signed the paperwork with a fake name he had practiced. Jake tried to look professional and important. "That's it?" Jake asked as they drove away. "That's it," Ryan said. He opened the box. Inside were several small pieces of rock that glowed with different colors. Lisa's computer work made sure the right people were working today. People who don't ask too many questions. Jake pressed the blue button on Vera's device. "We got it." "Excellent," Vera's voice came from the device. "Meet me at these coordinates." She gave them directions to a spot in the forest. They found Vera waiting next to what looked like a pile of twisted metal. But as they got closer, Jake realized it was her spaceship. It was about the size of a school bus but shaped like a teardrop. The crash had damaged it badly, but parts of it still glowed with alien light. "Impressive work," Vera said when they gave her the mineral box. "You solved the problem without breaking your laws or hurting anyone. Most species cannot do this under pressure." Vera took a piece of the glowing rock and inserted it into a slot in her ship. Immediately, the ship hummed with power and a large screen appeared in the air. "The quantum communicator is working," Vera said. "Now I can contact your leaders. But first, I have one more test for you." "What kind of test?" Lisa asked. She had met them at the ship after finishing her computer work. Vera touched the screen and images appeared. They showed massive spaceships moving through space toward a small blue planet. Earth. "The Dominion War Fleet will arrive in 48 hours, Vera said. "I can use this communicator to warn your leaders. But I need to decide how to do it." She showed them 2 options on the screen. Option 1, I contact only your government leaders and military commanders. They can prepare quietly without causing panic among your people. What's option 2? Jake asked. I broadcast a message to your entire world at the same time. Everyone will know the truth. But this will cause fear and chaos. Many people will panic. The 4 friends looked at each other. This was a huge decision. Jake thought about all the people he knew. His neighbors. His co-workers. People at the grocery store. Did they deserve to know the truth? What do you think we should do? Ryan asked Vera. It is not my choice, Vera said. This is your world and your people. You decide, Lisa spoke first. If it was me, I would want to know. Even if it made me scared. People have the right to know what's coming, Ryan agreed. Maybe they can help somehow, Jake nodded. If we only tell the leaders, what about everyone else? They won't have time to say goodbye to their families or prepare. But what if people panic and do crazy things? Lisa asked. What if there are riots and violence? Vera watched them discuss the problem. She did not offer her opinion, but Jake could see that she was paying close attention to their reasoning. Finally, Jake made the decision. We tell everyone, all at once. People deserve the truth even if it's scary, and maybe if everyone knows they can work together to help. Are you sure? Vera asked. All four friends nodded. Then that is what we will do, Vera said. But understand this. You are betting the survival of your species on the idea that humans will react well to terrible news. Many civilizations have destroyed themselves when faced with such knowledge. We have to trust our people, Jake said. If we don't believe in them, who will? Vera smiled. That answer gives me more hope than all your other tests combined. She began working on the quantum communicator, preparing to send a message to every television, radio, and computer on Earth. In a few hours, everyone would know that alien invaders were coming, and humanity would have to prove that Jake's faith in them was justified. Lisa stared at the alien technology inside Vera's ship. Wires and circuits glowed with blue light, but nothing looked like the computers she knew. Everything was smooth curves and flowing lines. How do I connect this to Earth satellites? Lisa asked. You think like a human, Vera said. Show me how your internet works. Lisa pulled out her laptop and opened a program that showed how data moved around the world. Information goes from computer to computer through cables and radio signals. Satellites help carry signals across oceans. Vera studied the screen carefully. Your network is very different from ours, but I can adapt. She touched several parts of her ship's computer. I will create a bridge between our technologies. Jake watched as alien symbols appeared on Lisa's laptop screen. Slowly, the symbols changed into English letters and numbers. It's working, Lisa said excitedly. Your computer is learning how to talk to ours. Ryan pointed at the ship's main screen. What are all those dots? Every communication device on your planet, Vera said. Televisions, radios, computers, phones. I can reach all of them at once. Jake felt nervous. Are you sure about this? Once we do it, we can't take it back. Your people will know the truth, Vera said, for better or worse. Lisa worked for 2 hours to complete the connection. She had to write new computer code that could work with alien technology. It was the hardest programming she had ever done, but eventually everything was ready. I can broadcast to every device on Earth, Lisa said. Are you ready? Vera looked at Jake, Lisa, and Ryan. Thank you for helping me. Whatever happens next, you have shown me that humans are worth saving. She stood in front of the ship's camera and began to speak. Her words appeared on screens all over the world in hundreds of different languages. People of Earth, my name is Vera. I am not from your world. I come from a planet far away among the stars. I am here to warn you of great danger. Jake watched on Lisa's laptop as the message reached every corner of the planet. In New York City, people stopped walking and stared at huge screens in Times Square. In Tokyo, families gathered around their televisions. In London, workers left their offices to watch the news on their phones. In 48 hours, warships will arrive at your planet, Vera continued. They belong to an empire that conquers worlds and makes people slaves. They have done this to many planets before yours. The images from space appeared on every screen, the massive Dominion ships moving toward Earth like metal sharks in the darkness. I have technology that can help you fight these ships, but first I needed to test your people. I needed to know if humans deserve to survive. Vera told the world about her tests, about Jake helping a stranger in the night, about Lisa, Ryan, and Jake working together to solve problems, about choosing to tell everyone the truth instead of hiding it. Your species has something rare in the galaxy, Vera said. When faced with impossible problems, you do not give up. You work together, you find new solutions, and most important, you care about others, even strangers. Jake watched the world's reaction on social media feeds that Lisa pulled up on her computer. He expected to see panic and chaos. Instead, he saw something amazing. People were organizing. In India, computer programmers started working together to understand the alien technology Vera was sharing. In Brazil, doctors began planning how to treat people hurt in the coming battle. In Canada, farmers organized food supplies for refugees. Look at this, Lisa said. She showed them a video call happening between scientists from 12 different countries. They're already working together to study Vera's ship data. A message popped up on the ship's communication system. Vera answered it and a woman's face appeared on the screen. This is Dr. Amy Williams from MIT in the United States, the woman said. I'm a physicist. Your quantum technology is incredible. We've managed to partially interface with your systems using our particle accelerators. Impressive, Vera said. Most species take months to understand quantum communication. We've got teams working around the clock, Dr. Williams said. Can you share defensive specifications? We want to start building whatever we can. Another message came in. This time it was a man in a military uniform. I'm General Martinez from the United Nations Defense Force, he said. We have reports of strange energy readings in Montana. Is that where the enemy will land? Yes, Vera said. I sent false signals to lead them away from your cities. Smart thinking. We're moving civilians out of the area and positioning our forces. How long do we have? 46 hours. Jake was amazed at how quickly everything was happening. All over the world, people were working together instead of fighting or panicking. A new video call came in. A man with gray hair and kind eyes appeared on the screen. This is Ben Parker, former Marine, he said. I'm organizing civilian evacuations. We're using social media to coordinate. Got volunteers in every major city helping families get to safe areas. Are people cooperating? Vera asked. Better than I've ever seen, Ben said. People are sharing food, fuel, shelter. It's like nothing I've ever witnessed. Everyone wants to help. Lisa pulled up more social media feeds. Look at this hashtag, Earth United. It's trending worldwide. People are sharing resources, skills, information. A guy in Germany is teaching people how to build radio transmitters. A woman in Japan is explaining first aid. Kids in schools are making care packages for soldiers. Ryan pointed at another screen. The stock markets actually went up today. People are investing in companies that make defensive technology. Instead of panicking about money, they're betting on survival. Vera watched all of this with growing amazement. This is not normal, she said quietly. What do you mean? Jake asked. Most species, when told they are about to be invaded, either fall into chaos or become paralyzed with fear. Some declare war on each other, thinking it will make them stronger. Others simply give up and wait to die. What do humans usually do? Lisa asked. You are the first species I have seen that immediately starts working together. You share information freely. You help strangers. You trust each other even when you are afraid. Vera's eyes were bright with tears that looked like liquid silver. I have tested many worlds. Yours is the first to give me hope. Dr. Williams called again. Vera, we've made a breakthrough. We think we can adapt your defensive technology to work with our existing satellites and military systems, but we need to test it first. How long for testing? Vera asked. 12 hours if we work nonstop. Do it. Jake looked at his friends. 46 hours ago, he had been a simple maintenance worker taking out trash. Now he was part of something that might save the world. What happens next? He asked Vera. Next, we see if human cooperation is strong enough to defeat an empire that has conquered 100 worlds, Vera said. But for the first time since I started this mission, I believe it might be. 12 hours before the Dominion ships would arrive, Vera made her final decision. She opened a hidden section of her crashed ship and revealed weapons that glowed with the same blue light as her communication device. These are Kethvar defensive weapons, she told the crowd of humans who had gathered at the crash site. Scientists, soldiers, and volunteers from around the world stood in the Montana forest, ready to fight for their planet. Dr. Amy Williams knelt next to the alien weapons. How do they work? That is the final test, Vera said. These weapons only function when operated by people who truly trust each other. Your enemies must work together or the weapons will not fire. General Martinez frowned. What do you mean by enemies? Vera activated a holographic display that showed the defensive grid they would build. The weapons create a network, but each control station must be operated by two people from nations that have been at war. Russian and American, Israeli and Palestinian, Indian and Pakistani, Chinese and Japanese, former enemies working as one. That's impossible, said a Russian colonel who had flown in that morning. We've been fighting for decades. Then your people will die, Vera said simply. The weapons are powered by what my people call harmonized intent. When two minds work together in perfect trust, they create energy that can stop any attack. But if there is doubt or anger between the operators, the weapons will not work. Jake looked around at all the soldiers and scientists. They came from countries that had been enemies for years. How could they trust each other in just a few hours? Dr. Williams stood up. We don't have a choice. Either we learn to work together, or we all die together. Ben Parker, the former Marine who had organized civilian evacuations, stepped forward. I'll work with anyone who wants to save lives. I don't care what country they're from. A Chinese scientist named Dr. Chen raised her hand. I will work with the American team. We are all human today. Slowly, Pairs began to form. Russian and American technicians sat together sharing data. Middle Eastern soldiers from different sides taught each other their languages. It was not easy. There was tension and old anger, but the threat from space made their old fight seem small. Vera showed them how to operate the alien weapons. Each control station required 2 people to place their hands on glowing panels at the same time. The weapons would only fire if both operators truly trusted each other and wanted the same thing. "It's like the device we fixed yesterday," Lisa said to Jake. "It reads what we're thinking and feeling." "Yes," Vera said, "but this is much more difficult. Your emotions must be perfectly matched with your partner's emotions." Jake found himself paired with a young soldier from Germany named Klaus. They sat at one of the control stations practicing. At first, nothing happened when they put their hands on the panels. "I keep thinking about how nervous I am," Klaus said. "Me too," Jake replied. "Maybe we need to think about something else." They talked for an hour about their families and their hopes for the future. Klaus had a baby daughter. Jake told him about his job at the water treatment plant, how he liked helping people have clean water. When they put their hands on the panels again, the weapon glowed softly. "We're getting somewhere," Dr. Williams said. She was paired with a Russian physicist named Dr. Petrov. Their weapon was glowing brighter than anyone else's. "What are you thinking about?" Jake asked her. "How amazing it is that humans from different worlds are working together to solve the same problems," Dr. Williams said. "We may speak different languages, but we all love science and discovery." Dr. Petrov nodded. "In space, there are no countries. Only humans trying to survive." The first Dominion ship appeared as a dark spot against the stars. Then 4 more ships joined it. They were enormous, each one the size of a small city. "Defensive positions," General Martinez called out. Vera stood at the center of the weapon network. "Remember, the ships will try to land and deploy ground troops. They do not expect resistance. Use this surprise to your advantage." The alien ships descended toward the Montana forest. As they got closer, their true size became terrifying. They blotted out the sun and filled the sky with shadow. "Fire," General Martinez ordered. Jake and Klaus put their hands on their control panel and focused on protecting the Earth. Around them, other pairs did the same. The weapons came alive with brilliant blue light. Beams of energy shot up from the forest and struck the Dominion ships. The beams were unlike anything humans had ever seen. They twisted and moved like living things, finding weak points in the alien armor. The lead ship's shields flared and failed. The ship shuddered and began to fall. "It's working," Dr. Williams shouted. But the other ships adapted quickly. They spread out and began firing back. Red energy beams scorched the forest around the human positions. "They're learning our patterns," Vera called out. "You must change tactics constantly." This was where humanity's greatest strength showed itself. Jake watched as the teams around him began modifying their attacks in real time. The Russian-American team changed their beam frequency. The Chinese-Japanese team altered their targeting system. The Israeli-Palestinian team developed a new firing pattern. Each change was shared instantly with all the other teams. The humans adapted faster than the Dominion ships could respond. "They're retreating," Klaus said in amazement. The Dominion ships were pulling back, their armor smoking from the alien weapon strikes. They had expected to find a primitive world with simple defenses. Instead, they found coordinated resistance that kept changing and improving. The largest ship sent out a communication signal that Vera translated. "They are calling for reinforcements and asking for new battle plans. They do not understand how humans can work together so effectively. Should we pursue them?" General Martinez asked. "No," Vera said. "Let them go back to the Dominion Empire and tell them what they found here. Word will spread that Earth is defended by something they have never seen before." The ships disappeared into space, leaving only scorched ground and amazed humans. Jake sat down next to Klaus, exhausted but happy. Around them, people from different countries were hugging and congratulating each other. "We did it," Lisa said. She and Ryan had operated one of the communication stations, coordinating between the weapon teams. Vera gathered everyone together. "You have passed every test. You have shown that humans possess something rare in the galaxy, the ability to unite." against impossible odds while maintaining your compassion and ethics. What happens now? Dr. Williams asked. Now I send a message to my people, Vera said. The HFY Confederation will offer humanity membership in our alliance, not as junior partners, but as equals who have something valuable to teach the galaxy. 3 months later, Jake was back at his night shift at the water treatment plant. The work was the same, but everything else had changed. Earth now had regular contact with dozens of alien civilizations. Human technology was advancing rapidly with help from their new alien friends. Jake still lived in his small apartment, but now he got messages from friends around the world. Klaus sent pictures of his daughter. Dr. Williams shared news about the joint human-alien research projects. Ben Parker organized international volunteer efforts. Most importantly, the cooperation that had saved Earth continued. Countries that had been enemies were now working together on problems like hunger, disease, and climate change. The alien invasion had shown humanity what they could accomplish when they truly united. As Jake walked to his car after his shift, he thought about that night when he found Vera by the dumpsters. One simple act of helping a stranger had changed everything. His phone buzzed with a message from Vera. She was now Earth's ambassador to the HFY Confederation. The message was simple. Thank you for proving that the best of humanity is worth sharing with the universe. Jake smiled and drove home through the dawn, knowing that somewhere among the stars, other species were learning what humans had always known, that helping others, even strangers, was the most important thing anyone could do.